What's up, YouTube? You're Inside the Edge, and I'm back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're new to this channel, if you're new to Inside the Edge, this is the channel for you guys. I will be covering a lot of NFL content, a lot of big signings, a lot of big trades. The NFL offseason is officially starting, so it's going to be a lot of breaking news, and I'm here for it, guys. I'm going to be covering all kinds of news throughout the NFL, offseason. So be sure to subscribe and do all that good stuff, guys. I got you guys covered. But with that being said, today I want to get into some mock draft. Today I want to get into some quarterbacking. I want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings. They do have the 11th pick in the first round, and there's rumors going around saying that the Vikings can go after a quarterback in this year's NFL draft. And the quarterback I want to talk to you guys about today is Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. This guy is listed at 6'3", 215 pounds. This is a solid quarterback I think can really fit the Minnesota Vikings. When you compare, Kirk Cousins, or when you compare a lot of, pocket quarterbacks, I think Kirk Cousins is one of those guys. And I think Michael Penix Jr. is a caliber player just like Kirk Cousins. They're both similar. They're both strong arm quarterbacks. They're guys that likes to make plays with their arm and not so much with their legs. So I understand that, looking at the Vikings, I do think that they want to get a similar quarterback to Kirk Cousins, and I think Michael Penix Jr. is the guy. When you look at Michael Penix Jr., we obviously look at the injuries. That's definitely a big question mark. How durable can he be? I mean, when we look at last year's quarterbacks, there's been so much injuries. So the question for Michael Penix Jr. is, how healthy can he be? And a lot of it just goes into just being able to escape. He just needs to work on being an escape artist, being able to extend plays and take less hits. That's something that definitely needs to be, a part of his game, where he just needs to pick up a lot on just trying to avoid less hits, and not that he took a lot of hits in college, but, when you're at the next level, you definitely got to be an escape artist. And I think that, given the right coaching staff and just looking at the situation of him being in the Vikings organization, I think will be a really good fit for him. Michael Penix Jr., I don't think he belongs as a top overall, quarterback pick, just because I wouldn't put him on. I wouldn't say he's ready to be a franchise quarterback just yet. When you look at, obviously the Commanders, that, the Chicago Bears, the Patriots, they are in desperate need of a quarterback to do a 180 on this franchise. But I think Michael Penix, I don't think he's there yet. I think he needs to go to more of a stable environment, more of a stable offense. I think he needs to go to an organization that already has pieces there for him to make his job easier, not so much be the guy to come in and, be like this prominent player to, take over a team and become, the savior per se. But I do think that the Vikings is a team that, they definitely have weapons on offense. Kevin McConnell, I think he's a tremendous coach. I think he's a player's coach. He embraces his quarterbacks. Even when you look at Josh Dobbs last year, picking up for Kirk Cousins when he got injured, Dobbs kind of came in for a little bit and he made some things happen. And I just think that Kevin McConnell, he's just really good at prepping his quarterbacks. And I think with Michael Penix Jr., if you give him, an off season, a training camp, OTAs, if he can really build among this, this Minnesota offense, I think he can pretty much thrive, just like we've seen, Kirk Cousins. And when you look at the Minnesota Vikings, again, guys, when you look at their receiving core with Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson at tight end, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne, players like that, I think can really help Michael Penix go, take off to the next level. And also, when you look at the Minnesota Vikings, they've always had a running game. They've always been a balanced offense. And, looking at, I always get his name kind of mixed up sometimes, but, looking at Alexander Madison, a running back that can pretty much do anything in the backfield, could catch in the backfield, be a guy that you can use for screenplays. I do think that Michael Penix Jr. is going to have a lot of help on offense, with the run game, and with Justin Jefferson being one of the best, receivers in the league. To have a number one target, it's going to make Michael Penix Jr. so much easier. But I just think if you give him, an off season to work with these caliber receivers, I think he can do something special. And looking at Michael Penix, Jr., it seems like throughout his college career, he's gotten better and better and better. And I know, we talk about the injuries, but looking at his last 2 seasons when he was healthy, this guy's thrown for over 4,000 yards. He's thrown for, he's completed over 65% of his passes as well. So, it just shows that when he's given an offense and given time, This guy can make things happen. Now, is he a playmaker? Is he a dual threat quarterback? Can you use him in a lot of read options? No, but I do think that the Minnesota offense, they're not designed like that. They like to spread out the offense. They like to feed their tight ends. They like to feed their running backs in the backfield. It's a pretty balanced offense. So I think Michael Penix, it won't be so much pressure on him to make every single play and be this big time playmaker. I think he can kind of, relax in the pocket a little bit, read his receivers, and give the ball to his playmakers. Jordan Addison is a really good playmaker. TJ Hawkinson at tight end, he's one of the best tight ends in football. I think, Michael Penix, obviously having an elite tight end can definitely, ease the pressure off of Michael Penix. And I just think he has just a really good core when you look at the Minnesota Vikings. This Minnesota Vikings team, we look at them, they never gotten over the hump. But throughout the last couple of years, we can say this team knows how to build an offense. They know how to build, pieces around their quarterback. And I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to be a really good fit for, the Minnesota Vikings. Like I mentioned, Michael Penix, he's a guy that can drop back, strong arm, can read his receivers. If you give him enough time, he will make the right passes. He has a really good IQ. And I think that, him going to the Vikings will be a pretty good situation for him. Looking at the circumstances, Kirk Cousins, we don't know what's going to happen if he's going to, join back with the team. But I do know that Kevin O'Connell, he's a quarterback's coach. And I think that if Michael Penix Jr. can get an offseason to work with his pieces around him, and Justin Jefferson, I know that's another issue, but I'm hoping that, the Vikings can come to some type of conclusion with Justin Jefferson and bring him back. But with Michael Penix, to have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson at tight end, I think Michael Penix Jr. can thrive. And I think that this is a smart kid that wants to learn every day. And he just has that ambition. And I think that this is going to be a really good situation for him if the Minnesota Vikings was to take a chance on him. But with that being said, guys, I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts for you Vikings fans. How do you guys feel about Michael Penix Jr.? I definitely think that he's a perfect fit. Like I mentioned, this guy, the way he can throw the football, the way he can sling it. If you guys give him some receivers, he can make things happen. So with that being said, drop a comment down below. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. The NFL offseason is beginning, and I want to hear you guys' thoughts. So until next time, have a good day. Peace.